Hey, and welcome to 7 Tech. My name is Curtis. Got a little change of scenery today, and that's because of this PC here. It's double bagged in 2 garbage bags and has a story to go along with it. It was in a storage unit, and when the owner went to get it out, he turned it on. PC came on for a few seconds. He heard a pop, and then the PC shut off and would not turn on after that. He brought it to Best Buy's Geek Squad, and when they opened it up, they found bugs inside, so they double bagged it like this and returned it to the customer and refused to work on it. He reached out to me and asked if I was interested. I said, sure, I'll take a look at it. So I have not seen this PC. It's been sitting in my garage for a week, double bagged like this. So hopefully if there's anything still alive in here, it's dead now. But as a precaution, I'm gonna still open it out here on my porch before I take it into my house. Now I've actually went through this too. This house is a newly built house, and we had a lot of our stuff in a storage unit as well for a year and a few months. And when we got it out, it had roaches all in it. It was horrible. We had to actually move everything into our garage first. We sprayed it all down, let it sit for a week before we ever even brought it into the house. So I know what he's going through when he tells me there's bugs in here. If you got anywhere to store something besides a storage unit, I recommend that, because him and me have had problems with bugs coming from a storage unit. Let me open this, let's dive in and see what we're working with. All right, we got a little closer camera angle. Let's get this open, see what we're working with. It's triple bagged. Quintuple bagged. All right, so we've got a GeForce some RTX card. I don't see the series on it. Got an MSI Pro Z790A motherboard. I see some CORSAIR Vengeance RAM. It really doesn't look that dirty. It's decently clean. Let's take a look at the back side here. It doesn't really look that dirty to me. I see some kind of little debris down here. Maybe parts of dead bugs. This is kind of hard to tell, but it really doesn't look that dirty. I think it's probably safe for me to take into my house.
Warning.
So upon closer inspection, it most definitely has some roaches in it. I saw myself 3 German cockroaches. There's probably more. In the process of moving it out here and all that, they probably went and hid, and since it's been sitting out here, they're starting to come out. So I'll definitely be disassembling this out here on my porch and doing a complete cleanup of this PC. Hopefully it will not be all for nothing and it will be able to be fixed. I also noticed one thing. He's got his graphics card in the bottom slot rather than the top. I don't know why. Maybe he did that for troubleshooting, but if you have a graphics card, it's best to put it in the top slot for airflow purposes, as well as that's usually the most performant PCI slot. There's a roach right there. Let's get to it.
And the first step to getting this clean and roach free, we're going to remove this GPU. Now removing this rubber grommet, you can see, let's call it roach debris on it. And the CPU cooler gets removed. No roaches hiding under it. Removing the motherboard, just in case. Alright, and out it goes. There's a little guy. Anybody need a friend? Guess he's not interested. Quick look with everything removed. This is not normal PC dust. This is something from the roaches. Now to the back of the case to get the power supply removed. I believe this is where the majority of the roaches will be. Yep, there is one crawling back in the PSU now. And if you look in the case where the power supply was, you can see more. Here I am removing the case feet because, as you can see, they're hollow. Perfect place for a roach to hide. I'm putting the screws back in just so I don't lose them. Next, I'm removing the front glass and filter to make sure there are no roaches hiding there. And sure enough, you can see a roach there, a small one down here, and another small one crawling up there. Now I'm removing the front panel connectors because I need to get everything electronic out of this case because I'm going to be hosing it down. Here is the board for the front panel connectors. And here's the plastic housing. Surprisingly, no roaches. Here are all the parts removed from the case, and here is the bare bone case ready to be hosed down.
So I believe there is a roach under this heatsink. We're fixing to find out.
So no roaches, but if you look down on the concrete, you can see that black roach debris. Next, I'm taking the GPU apart to check for roaches inside it. I gave the GPU a pretty good inspection and didn't find any roaches, so I didn't feel the need to disassemble it much more than this.
The next thing I want to do is just take everything off of this motherboard. Anywhere a bug could be hiding, just want to take it off of here. You never know. Roaches get in all kinds of places. Yeah, yuck. Hoo-wee, what a mess. They are all under here. At least 3. Here we go. Oh, yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. No bugs in that heatsink. All right, now it's time to clean this case. Got some Lysol, we're just gonna spray it all over it. I got an old scrub, water hose. We're gonna just squirt it out, get all the roach remnants out, get it all cleaned up so we can get the PC back in there and get to testing.
Job's done.
So it's another day. As you saw, I hosed down the case after I let it sit on my back porch for a few days. The power supply was just full of roaches. I shook it out, trying to get them out. It's getting cold here, so I left the power supply sitting outside on my back porch, thinking maybe the roaches would get out and find somewhere warmer. Didn't happen. I went out there 2 days later, looked in it, shook it around. There were still roaches in it. Power supply, it's just getting tossed. So since the owner said he powered it on, heard a pop, and then the computer shut off, I'm suspecting the power supply to be bad anyway. So I've got an extra power supply here that I'm going to use for testing. And I personally am thinking the computer is going to boot right up, but we'll see. So here we go. Graphics cards, fans, RAM's on. CPU's getting warm. And there we are. It booted. All right, I didn't want to let it boot all the way because I don't have a cooler on the CPU. It was definitely getting hot. Looked like it booted all the way to Windows there. So I'm going to go ahead and put the PC back together and we'll do a full boot. And I think we're going to have this PC fixed. I believe a roach killed it. Okay, aside from the power supply, because the owner hasn't ordered one yet, we're using mine. The PC is built. I've got the cooler on. We can let it boot all the way into Windows. So this will be the first full boot. First though, I want to try and get into the BIOS just to see temperatures. All right, it's powering on. There we are. Okay, we got 32 gigs of RAM. CPU temp is 39 degrees Celsius. That looks good. And now let's make sure it boots into Windows. So many power on and power offs, it made it go into recovery mode. So we're gonna hit restart my PC and it should boot up like normal. There we are. That's a fix. I'll get on the phone with the owner and have him order a power supply, get it thrown in there and get it back to him. The new power supply is here. It's a CORSAIR RM750E. It is an ATX 3.0 power supply, which means it comes with that NVIDIA 12 pin, no adapters needed. So it's time to throw it in here, Finish the cable management, button it up, do one last power on, make sure everything is working correctly, and this will be ready to deliver to the owner, roach free.
Work complete.
All right, power supply's in. Here we go, first boot, new power supply. There's Windows. So we had a kamikaze roach, take out the power supply, replace it, good to go. We'll get this back to the owner. So there's another PC fixed. If you like this video, even though I know it's a bit of a gross one this time and not much troubleshooting, is more of a debugging, but like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out. And if you live near the Alabama-Mississippi state line down on the Gulf Coast and you have a computer that you would like to have repaired or one you'd like to have built, feel free to reach out to me. Contact info is down in the description. We'll talk it out, see what I can do, and maybe I can get you up and running. My name is Curtis. This has been 7 Tech. Thanks for watching.
Warning.